Okay, so here is the human genetics lab that we will be going through, and you have two different downloadable items, materials, a formatted lab, and a rubric. This is going to have another table that's really good to share if you don't mind, so we don't have to find like whatever it is, like 50 people. Let's go look. Let's start with the rubric. Right, so this one only has 2 exercises, which makes me really happy. There that goes. 2 exercises and observations. So observations are going to be worth a point because there's a lot of them. Hopefully we can share to get that done. And then complete sentences, and it looks like you have to have references, which makes me very happy. My bearded dragon's all puffed up, and I think he's hungry. He's looking at me. Okay, we'll do this and give him crickets afterwards. Let me pull up the next one. Okay, so this one has only 2 exercises, which is really nice. And it's a point for observations because we're going to have a few. Hopefully we can share. And like I said, look over here. It's half a point for references, and you have to have them. Let me go to the walkthrough. Okay, here is the lab. So you do your title page like normal. And then we have a ton, I guess it's only 15. I feel like it's so many more, of people to go through and talk to. So it's nice if you guys can share information so that we don't all have to look up 1,000 people. So much nicer. Then we're going to have questions. Oh, there's a little circular thingy too. When you look at the lab booklet, it's going to have a little circle thingy in it that you can use to figure out the next part. Okay? Then it is what observations can be made from the collected data. So what did you see? Are there any 2 people that are the same? How are they related? So do you actually have twins or something? Or, you know, a parent relationship, or not at all? What's your hypothesis? What statistical tool might help you? I would think, what letter is that? It's for C. It says, oh yeah, I would be thinking about the lab with your plants. That will give you good ideas on statistical tools. So just making sure that's what the key said too. Did you find dominant phenotypes were equal, greater than, equal to, or less than recessive? You'll be able to tell that from what you got. Can you explain what possible genotypes are suggested by this pattern? Do they vary with a trait? Would you expect this outcome? How would changing the level of the map traits affect the charts? For instance, if the alleles had male or female were in the outer rim, so if you were to like the opposite direction, what would happen? Let's see. List several other traits that could have been governed by genetics. Can't think of anything, you can Google it. Like, would you expect China to be different if you weren't looking like at the US? Would there be different things? Different patterns for different cultural populations? Would you expect it to be different in 100 years? If you have the percentage of everybody in the world, would you expect the percentage to change over 100 years? And then human chromosomes and the Human Genome Project. So here you're going to write up a little report. This is why you have to have the resource. And then you'll write it down here, right? Is that where you stick it? Let me check. Yeah, that where you would stick it. So you would pick, does it tell you what to pick? Let's read that again. Pick one specific genetic disease. Report should be 1 to 2 pages in length, so it's not too long, and incorporate an outline of the research things above. So like if you talked about diabetes, you would talk about what it is as a trait. You talk about it in the US, what the percentages are. You would talk about how children are affected if they have the juvenile version, this is type 1, so are affected by the trait, and then the current treatment, that kind of thing. And so then it has a blank page for you. So what was the purpose of this? Hopefully to understand stuff. There you go. And then what prognosis on genetic diseases in the future? Would you use microsurgery to fix it? and then lab summary. So that one's really nice and easy. I put the reference sections at the end because you probably do for the whole paper. If you're only doing it for this one part, you can just include it for this one part, but if you put it somewhere else too. I mean, it's supposed to be at the end, right? So put it at the end. Okay, I hope this helped. Actually, I think this one's fun. I really like genetics. I hope you enjoy.